Hi, let us solve the second challenge in our series. This question is from the topic time and work. A contractor employed 120 men to complete a task in 40 days. After 10 days from the beginning of the work, he observed that only 20% of the work being completed. How many more men must he employ for the remaining days to complete the work on time? See, usually, if he is asking the workers to complete the work in 40 days, okay, in 40 days, he is expecting 100% of the work to be completed. But after 10 days, he observed only 20% being completed. That means, see, he expected, in 40 days, he expected 100%. That means in 10 days, he expected one fourth of 100, that is 25% of work to be completed. But after the observation, he got to know that only 20% got completed. That means the workers are lagging in completing the work. So he has to put some extra employees to complete the work on time. So they are asking how many more men should be employed for the remaining days so that the work gets completed in 40 days itself. Okay. All right. The first thing that we need to know is the proportionality between the three parameters used here. One is quantity of work. We will keep it as W. Then duration of work or time, we will keep it as T. And then we have resources or number of people working on the job. Okay, we will keep it as R. So the proportionality between them is like when you increase the quantity of work, okay, when you increase the quantity of work, the time taken to complete the work also increases. By increasing the quantity of work, time taken increases. That means work and time are directly proportional. So from this you can say W1 by W2 equal to T1 by T2, where W1 is the work done in first case, W2 is the quantity of work in second case, T1 and T2 are their respective durations. Okay. Similarly, by increasing the quantity of work and keeping the time constant, okay, here resource is constant. Here we are keeping time as constant. Okay, at the same, for a particular period of time, if you increase the quantity of work, to finish that work, you need to increase the number of resources. Okay, so here we can say work and resource are directly proportional if time is constant. So from this we can say W1 by W2 is equal to R1 by R2. Okay. Similarly, by keeping work constant, if you increase the number of resources, time taken to complete that work will reduce. By deploying more employees, time taken will be reduced to complete the work. So from this we can say resource and time are inversely proportional. So from this we can say T1 by T2 equal to R2 by R1. So these equations are used to solve uh, the solve for the required value when two parameters are given. When three parameters are given, we can combine these three and say W1 by W2 equal to R1 into T1 divided by R2 into T2. So you can use this formula when all three parameters are used in the question, like this question here. Okay. Now let us apply that formula. W1 by W2 equal to R1 into T1 divided by R2 into T2. Now here W1 is the quantity of work completed in the first scenario. That is W1 states W1, R1 and T1 is before inspection. Okay, these are before inspection. All right, and W2, R2 and T2 are after values after inspection. Okay, so here what quantity of work was completed before inspection? See, he observed after 10 days and found out 20% of the work is completed. So that means 20 units of work, let us say, is completed. In second scenario, that is after inspection, 80% of the work is remaining. Right? Out of 100%, 20% is completed. Remaining work is 80%. And in the first scenario, that is before inspection, 120 men were working. Okay, 120 men were working. After inspection, we have to increase the number of employees, right? So that means along with this 120 men, we are adding X number of men. We need to find out, according to the question, how many more men are required. So we need to find out this extra number of men. T1 is time taken in the first scenario, that is before inspection they worked for 10 days. After inspection they need to work for 30 days so that the total work will be completed in 40 days. Okay. Now we know these values, we substitute it here, right? So what happens? 20 by 80 is equal to 120 into 10 divided by 120 plus x into 30, right? So 10 and 30 gives 3, 20 and 80 gives 1 by 4. So 3 by 4 is equal to 120 divided by 120 plus x. So 120 plus x. This is just a simplification. 480 by 3, that is 160. So from this we get x value as 40. So we need 40 extra men. Okay. So option C is the right answer. Now if you go with this formula, you will get the answer. The same formula can be executed in a different way. Okay. So let us see how we can execute this. Now, whenever you get this kind of question where time, resource and work are compared. Okay, this is proportionality concept under time and work. So resource and time, write it on one side of the line and on the right hand side you write the work. Okay. Now, we know that resource is directly proportional to work and time taken is directly proportional to work. So in the first scenario, 20 units of work is done. In second scenario, 80 units is done. And number of men in the first scenario is 120. In second scenario, let us keep it as x or 120 plus x. So in first scenario, time taken is 10 days. In second scenario, it is 30 days. So see here, from 120 to 120 plus x, you are multiplying with a value p. From 10 to 30, you are multiplying with 3. So whatever terms you multiply on the left hand side, the same values you have to multiply with the on the right hand side. Okay. So whatever value you have multiplied on the left hand side, same values you have to multiply on the right hand side. So that is 20 into p into 3 is 80. So from this we get p value as 80 by 20 is 4. P value is 12. Sorry, 4 by 3, not 12. 4 by 3. So here this 4 by 3, 120 into 4 by 3 will give us 120 plus x. Okay, 120 into 4 by 3 is 160. 160 is equal to 120 plus x. That means x is equal to 40. So this is another way in which we can do. This particular technique will be quite easy when both the terms on the left hand side is known. That is here one unknown variable is there, no? So instead of that, if both values are known here and this value is unknown. If that is the case, this technique will be very easy. Otherwise, you will have to do one extra step. Okay. So let us see in the next challenge tomorrow. Subscribe to our channel for getting more questions like this. Thank you.